Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. This is the TRX 38. The TRX comes in a 38, 40, 36, maybe even 34 now. It's been on the market for a number of years, and we're going to look at this one. This is the latest version. The latest version has a little dampener here, which is like a bit surprising to me. Like, I kind of expect a damper to be in here and in here, which is what Mathews used to do, but I've kind of gone for just a little dampener down there. Look, it looks very much like the old TRXs. The cam system is a twin cam with a cable either side. You'll see up here it's got like a little plastic thing. That's to stop the string touching the cam. In the early versions, this string ran so close to this cam that people used to complain about it. But there's a bit of space between the string and the cam in this version, and there's more space down the bottom. The TRX is a modular based bow, so you can use the modules to change the draw length or the let off. So if you want to go from a 28 inch to a 28 and 28.5 inch module, you've got to buy the module. And it's kind of hard because it's like, well, which module do you need for which bow? And it all gets a bit confusing. I don't know if that's the same now, but back when I was selling lots of Mathews, I needed modules for each bow, and then you've got, hard, soft, different let-offs. There was just so many modules to carry. It was a bit of a pain for the dealer. This module is a 75%. It's a number E. I don't know what draw length that is. So this bow is a 60-pound bow, 38 inches axle, 7-inch brace height. IBO speed is 328. It's meant to weigh about 4.9, which is very similar to the PSE. Retail price in Australia is about $2,200. That puts it at the sort of the top end of bow manufacturers. Puts it cheaper than Hoyt, cheaper than Bowtech, kind of on par with the PSE Citation, $500 more than the PSE Supra, and about $600 more than the PSE than the Elite Remedy, the Elite Result. So I've got the Elite Result, I've got the Elite Remedy and the PSE Citation behind me, which we'll compare in this review, because I'm kind of interested to see what the draw cycle is like and the vibration. In the past, when I've tested Mathews, they've always been very good as far as vibration, so very limited hand shock. Some adjustability issues are a bit harder on the Mathews than the other bows. Like on the Mathews, to go and replace the strings, you have to take the cams off, which is a bit of a pain if you're going to replace strings. To shim the cam left and right, you've got to use a top hat system, so you've got to replace the little spaces here. So that's a little bit of a pain. The Mathews have these little things at the top here. This is for the bow press to hold into. It also stops the limbs blowing apart if you dry fire the bow, hopefully. You can see here from the inside the riser how much thread there is left as you wind out the bow. This is quite nice here. It's engraved in the side. Metal limb pockets, which are quite nice. Short limbs, parallel limbs. Stop here. Only one stabilizer mount here, where PSE you get the double. You get one down lower. The bottom rear low is very, very low on the Mathews. So now I'm going to say there's always questions about which bow is the best. Look, you're going to shoot well with pretty much any bow. It doesn't matter which bow you prefer, your budget, whether you want smoother shooting, whether what bow you like the look of, and which bow you like the color of. The Mathews comes in a painted finish. This looks like kind of like a powder coat, black. This bow is secondhand and in very good condition. It shows sort of no signs, no marks. There's a little mark here, and I'm guessing that could be from the customer's ring when he shot, or it could be the grip. Most customers who buy Mathews will fit an aftermarket grip to it, so just consider that. You cannot move the position of the sight up or down. Some bows you can, some bows you can't. It has 2 arrow holes there, which is quite nice. Most of the Mathews have a sticker on the bottom limb to tell you the poundage and let off. This bow does not. So I did weigh this bow before doing this review, and it weighed 59.98 pounds. So let's just try try the draw cycle out. I really like the rollers here on the Mathews, although they're a bit painful to replace the strings because you've got to slide the strings through. So I'm replacing the strings. I'm going to say Prime's probably your hardest, Mathews your second hardest. After that, Elite, PSE, they're both pretty quick and easy to do. So let's just try the draw cycle out. So to start off with, it's very firm to start with. So I'm expecting this to be, like I can feel it all in my shoulders straight up, and I shoot 60 pound. So the two bows behind me are both 60 pounds, the Elite and the PSE. It's quite hard. It's dropping into a valley. There. The valley you can't even feel. It's very much like the Hoyt Altus. Like the valley hits and you're expecting it to go more and it doesn't. So there's virtually no valley. But there is a valley, it's obviously 75%. Can I say it feels like 50%. But I expect this bow to be quite fast because it is quite aggressive in the draw cycle. I'm going to say that the Elite and the PSE are smoother to draw. I'm going to say it's very similar draw cycle to the Hoyt. I'm going to say this is probably a little bit more aggressive than the Hoyt. I'm going to say the PSE EM cam is probably on par with the draw cycle, maybe a little bit more aggressive. I can't imagine this bow being faster than the EM, but let's shoot it. So this is a Victory VAP 350 grain, weighs 390 grains, 60 pounds. I'm hoping that's about 29 inches. .304. So I think from memory that's quite a bit faster than the Hoyt Altus, which we shot in the last, one of the last reviews. Definitely faster than the Bear Paradox, which was rated at 340 feet per second. I'm pretty sure the Bear did 270s, and with the arrow I'm about to shoot, this is a gold tip velocity. It weighs 327. I'm pretty sure the Bear Paradox did about 290. So this should do like 320s, 315s. Said 304 again, so we're going to try that again. So I'm going to say with the Mathews in the past, I have not liked the grip. This grip feels different than the Mathews I've shot before. It's more rounded, it's more narrow, and I don't mind this grip. So Mathews have definitely changed the way they've done grips. .305. It's a bit weird. Let me just shoot another Victory. I don't mind the draw. With the Hoyt, when it dropped over it, basically I shook. With this, I'm not shaking at all when it drops into the valley. It's very smooth into the valley. Very little shock. Oh, sorry, 280. So the first one was obviously wrong. So 280 for the VAP and 304, 305 for the gold tip velocity. This is the Elite Remedy. So we've been trying this one for the last few weeks. I gave it last week to one of my staff to shoot at a competition. And he shot well with it. So I'm interested in how this compares in draw cycle, vibration. Yeah, there's stabilizers on it, and speed. Oh, this is at 60 pounds, so it feels like a toy compared to the Mathews. It's just, it feels like 50 pounds compared to 60. It's significantly easier. 280. That's given that the chronograph is reading correctly, the sun's going down, but it's the Elite is significantly smoother to draw. I think there's less shock in the Elite. Now it does have stabilizers on it, but when I did the review of the Remedy when I first did it, it didn't have stabilizers, so you'd have to compare that. But the grip is different. It's a flatter grip than the TRX. The TRX is rounded, so more like the Hoyt Altus. This is the PSE Citations. It's set at 29 inches, set at 60 pounds. Yep, she's fully wound up. Now I found the EM cam quite aggressive, and at 55 pounds I found the bow harder to draw than 60. So this is just like, it's like nothing. It's like, I'm going to say maybe the Elite is smoother at 60, but it's like I feel no pain at all in my arms, in my shoulders with the PSE or the Elite. The Mathews I can still feel in my shoulder, in my arms. I can still feel the pain through here. So it's significantly harder. It says 280 again, so I'm guessing the chronograph doesn't have enough light. The bow is very smooth, the PSE. It's got a very nice draw cycle. I think it's one of the better draw cycles in the market, and you'd have to just check the review to check the speed of that compared to the Mathews. I feel the Mathews is a very aggressive kind of draw, so I'm going to say probably the EM Citation is going to be quicker. I feel like that was a hard draw. That hurt my body at 55 pounds. Look, the Mathews is not a bad draw. It's not a bad draw. It's just you're feeling the weight at the start, and you're drawing back, you feel the weight, and it's very little valley. The PSE has a bigger valley, and so does the Elite, and the Elite can change the whole way through because it's adjustable valley length, like the PSE. The PSE, you can change the length of the valley, and you can on the Elite. In fact, the Elite, I've shortened the valley. If you set it factory setting, it's got a bigger valley. So with that, we'll go back to 18 and see how well we shoot. Okay, so I'm back at 18 meters, and I've sighted the bow in, so hopefully they go in the middle. I'm going to say when I draw back the bow, I shake a little bit at the start because it's a bit heavier at the start than the other bows, the Elite and the PSE. But when I'm sort of back there at full draw, it's fine. The bow aims really well. The pin just holds in the middle. There's no movement with the pin at all, so it's a very nice bow to aim. I find the grip on the new TRX very comfortable, so a lot more comfortable than the older Mathews. In fact, so comfortable that I would not change the grip on this bow. I find it nice, and I'd see no reason to change it. The vibration is excellent. I'm going to say the PSE has a little bit more forward vibrations, so a little bit more feel when you shoot it, and that's the PSE Supra or the Citation. The Supra has more initial shock moving forward. The Elite is very, very similar, and that's the Remedy. I haven't shot I have shot the result, but I haven't been shooting the result, so I can't remember. But feels very similar. So I'm going to say the down points is the changing the draw length is an issue. So this is set with an E, and I'm assuming it's 29 inches because it feels spot on for me. So let's see how we shoot. I think I will shoot this bow very well. The 7-inch brace height means that it's going to be very easy to aim and should be forgiving to shoot. So let's sort of see how that goes. I like the roller cable slides in the middle. That reduces the vibration. One of my viewers said, why doesn't PSE use roller slides? Well, the reason is it depends on the engineers. So as you draw the bow back, the roller system doesn't move, so it's meant to create more tension on the limbs. So with PSE, they have the roller slide moving backwards and forwards, and they say it basically creates more uniform pressure on the cables. That's why they don't use roller slides. That's what they say. PSE do use them on some of their hunting bows, the carbon bows, or they have in the past, but they don't use them on the carbon bows. Saying that, one of the PSE pro shooters fits roller slides, a roller system to his PSE. I don't know where he gets it from, but anyway, I like the roller slide system because it creates less shock. One of the negatives, as I said before, it's a bit of a pain to change strings. I'm going to say the person I brought this bow from, who traded in on another Mathews, they own quite a few Mathews, and they've shot all the bows that I've done in this review. They've shot the Remedy, the Citation, they've owned the Citations and Performs and Focuses and all that. They like this bow. The strings they weren't that happy with. They found that they had some stretching issues with the strings, so these are basically strings that have never been shot, basically, because when they get their new Mathews, they fit custom strings to it straight away. So, look, I generally don't fit custom strings to a bow straight away. I generally shoot them, but this is what they do, and I'm just relaying their thoughts on the strings and the bow, how they found the bow. Overall, they like shooting the bow. They think the Citation SE is easier drawing than the EM, although the EM was significantly faster, and they like the Elite to shoot. So let's talk price point. So 2,200 compared to the Hoyt Altus, which is basically 2,000. $200 more. It's a similar kind of riser, twin cam system versus a hybrid cam system. The Hoyt has got a rotating module, except for the SVX cam, which is module replacement, which is like this. So much of a muchness, like to tune the bows, you've got to move the cams left and right. So much of muchness. Mathews $200 more. I'm going to say the wool on the Mathews is rock solid. I'm going to say the Hoyt, the DCX cam that I shot like last week, was a bit more soft at the wall. The SVX would be more solid at the wall, but the Mathews is so solid at the wall because the draw stop is so far away from the module, so it creates a more solid position. So the Mathews is going to be more solid. Less vibration. The Mathews is quieter than the Hoyt. I think the Mathews would have to be one of the quietest of all the bows. Really, I'm liking the grip. Okay, so let's compare it to the Elite Remedy or Elite Results. The Remedy's got a roller cable guard like this. It's got the ability to have a limb stop and a cable stop, and you can tune the bow by rotating the limbs. About $1,600 versus $2,200, so there's $600 difference there. For a beginner archer, I'm going to say that $600 is too much difference in price, because $600 is going to buy you a fancy sight, which is what most beginners don't do. Most beginners, beginners with this type of budget will buy, who buy a bow like this will put a $100 sight on, $100 arrows, some stabilizers, and go shoot and upgrade later. So if you're an archer who's got all the money in the world and you don't really care about money, and when I say that, it means you've been shooting for a long time, and it's like, look, I'm just looking for the best bow there is because I shoot every day. So look, if something's $600 more, it's $600 more. Look, you're probably not going to be worried about the $600. I'm going to say the Mathews bows come in black, blue, white, red, and I don't think the paint finish is as good as the Elite. The Hoyt have got a new finish. It's also paint. And look, I don't know if you like the Hoyt versus the Mathews paint. The PSE is an anodized finish, so more durable, I'm going to say, with anodizing. PSE also have the white one, which can be subject to, chipping and stuff. I'm going to say with the Elite, now I haven't sold a lot of Elites, in numbers wise, I probably sell 20 PSEs to one Elite, but I've never seen any paint issues with an Elite. I think the Elite paintwork is pretty solid. Where I had a customer with a 2-year-old PSE in white complaining with paint chips. And he was on a forum complaining about it. He complained to me, and PSE said, well, that's to be expected. Where an anodized finish that you get on your normal PSEs, that's pretty, like they're just rock solid. Very hard to damage, very hard to get chips in them. And a lot of this will come back to the bow you like the look of, which bow you like, to hang on the wall, and which bow you think, look, this is a cool bow, I wouldn't mind shooting this. Look, I find I'm aiming very well with this bow. It's definitely harder to draw. I can feel it in my arms. I don't mind it, it breaks clean, so when I take the shot, because it's like 75%, it's such a rock solid wall that I'm holding it hard against the wall and sort of firing. Saying that, I'm shooting a PSE Citation, I'm obviously shooting that Remedy. I'm struggling to pick the difference between them, and with the Mathews, I think I'd be struggling to pick the difference between this and that. Although I'm going to say the PSE and the Elite are easy to draw. And this year at the Nationals and the State Championship, like last year, I fatigued with 144 arrows shooting the EM cam. So this year I've chosen to go, I could have dropped back poundage, but I've chosen to go for a bow that's easy to draw. You could shoot more to obviously build up your strength. That draw felt different. I could feel it was like something was rubbing through here or somewhere up here. I don't know what it was. It shot alright. We'll shoot just one more. I'm going to see what the group's like. So my thing overall, I can't see where my arrows are down there. I feel like every shot's been good. There's no wind, it's completely still. It's a very warm night here, so it's perfect shooting weather. And if I hadn't left my quiver and finger tab down at the archery club after the competition on the weekend, I'd be shooting recurve tonight. But when you leave your quiver full of arrows and finger tab behind at the archery club, look, I'm going to say with the TRX, I started off feeling that this draw length was perfect for me at E. I don't know what the draw length is at E. But now I'm feeling like it's a little bit too long. So if I had a rotating module, I just shorten it back a little bit, which is what I did with the Elite. I shortened it back a little bit. So I shot it, in the review I did, I sort of shot it for a bit and then I changed the draw length, I changed the draw stop. One of my staff shoots this particular bow, and the same thing happened to him. He had to buy, I think he's in his 4th set of modules now. The modules are not particularly cheap, I think around $100 for a set of modules, and there's the wait time to get them, obviously. So I think he's on his 4th set of modules because he's played around with let off and draw length, kind of trying to get it right. I would go a little bit shorter than this draw length for myself because I feel like I'm not applying enough back tension. But let's go down the end and see how the arrows are. Like it's obviously I need to move the sights. I did shoot in the 10 before I did this. That's what I normally do, and I just like, okay, let's shoot the group. The sun's setting. Look, I can't get my hand around the whole group, but it's not too bad a group. Left and right's not too bad. But I've got up and down, I've got a bit of left and right. So I think I'd go shorter draw length. Look, it wasn't bad. Look, it's not bad. I enjoy the draw cycle, although it's more aggressive. I enjoy the bow's very quiet, so I enjoy that, and my neighbours would especially enjoy that because they can hear me shooting normally. So nice quiet bow. Very little shock, so the shock on the body is going to be good, but the drawing is harder, so I can definitely feel it through here. I can feel it in the back. Adjustability is obviously one of the issues. I suppose for me, like, all the top bows made are pretty amazing. And the bow I haven't mentioned is the Bowtech Reckoning, that's a pretty amazing bow. You can move the cams left or right, you can change the let off, you can flip the modules to change the feel of it. Look, a similar price point to the Mathews TRX, a little bit more expensive, but your Bowtech's got an adjustable grip as well. But it's a slightly higher price point. It's got a few more features, the Bowtech. So kind of, I'd like to see the Bowtech down a bit in price, and then it's more appealing to more archers. So I'm a bit confused. Like, it's a beautiful bow to shoot, the grip's nice and comfortable, it shoots nice, so I think I'd shoot well with this bow. However, the down points which I've gone through, it just doesn't look flashy to me. I think it needs to be more bling to the bow. I like lower stabilizer hole. I'd like more adjustability in the draw length and let off and stuff, so I don't have to buy modules, because every time I got to buy a module I got to wait a week to get it, and then I've got to fit it, and I don't like changing strings on it because that means I've got to drop the cams off. So let's say you're going to drop your strings into a shop to have them fit it. They've got to drop the strings, they've got to drop the cams off. How long is it going to take to fit a set of strings to a Mathews? Maybe 40 minutes. I mean, you've still got to time the bow, but you got to drop those axles off. So I suppose overall, and I think Mathews have a huge following in America. I'm told like lots of the 3D shoots shoot them. Whether that's because they're given and whether it's because of prize money, I don't know. I'm not sure how the price points in America compare with Australia. But to me, I think it's a little bit overpriced compared to like the Elite and the PSE Focus. I think the PSE Focus at $1,700 versus $2,200, $500 difference. That's a lot. The Elite, that's a lot of difference when the Elite's got so many functions to it. I think the draw cycle would be more appealing to beginners on, you know, the Elite and the PSE. But I think if you're a top line archer, so I mean a good archer, I think the Mathews would be a nice shooting bow. And I think in many ways it'd be very comparable to your Hoyt. The whole feel of it, but I think the wool's a lot more solid than the Hoyt. So I'm going to say if you're forking out the money for a Hoyt, one of the other issues is the PSE Citation is a solid block of steel which they machine out, and it takes 4 times as long to make a Citation as it does a PSE Supra, so hence the extra cost. With Mathews, like, you've got a big block of steel, but I don't imagine the machining is as time consuming as the Hoyt Invicta or the PSE Citation. I like the way the bow shoots. The grip is improved, the spacing is improved between the wheel and the cam from before, which people would have complained about. Mathews make a really solid bow. It's very rare that you're going to have a problem with the Mathews. Saying that, I did have a problem with set of limbs this week. I'm going to say all the top end bows, like, they're just so rock solid. I mean, a person dropped their bow on a rock this week and they damaged the PSE set of limbs, and he still shot it this week in a competition. And he's like, do you have any spare limbs? And I'm like, I don't think I've ever replaced a set of limbs on a Supra. And I would have sold 100 of them, and I don't think I've ever replaced a set of limbs. So they are very, very, very solid generally. The bows, the limb pockets are good, the finish is good. I don't know about the quality of the strings. I'm just giving my feedback. I wouldn't have a problem shooting the Mathews strings, and I definitely would not change the strings to aftermarket strings until I shot the bow. But I'm just flagging the thing that an archer did have this problem. So as soon as they get their new Mathews, they rip the strings off them and then fit custom-made strings. I wouldn't do that because I've just added another $400 on the price of the bow. $2,200 bow, added $400 to the price of it. $2,600. Ooh, expensive. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. I hope that's been informative. I do like the bow. That's my summary. I do like it. I think it's an improvement of the other ones, and 38's a nice length overall for shooting. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.